Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a cream highlight and contour tutorial. If you want to see what I transform into, keep on watching. So first I'm going to use the Face of Australia Face Base Primer with Vitamin E and Chamomile. I'm going to use this to prime my face. Just rubbing it all over my face until it's all in to my skin. Just going down my neck a tad as well. So just going to let that sink in for a couple of moments, and while we're waiting for that, we're going to get ready with the foundation. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation in colour 125. And it doesn't tell me the actual, nude beige. 125 nude beige. This is in the dewy complexion one. Just going to shake that up. Once that's all shaken up, just going to put a little bit of it onto the back of my hand. We're just doing a thin base because the highlight and contouring products are going to cover up the rest of the skin. So using my Models Prefer Airbrush buffing brush, just taking some of the foundation and starting to work it into my skin. Making sure to work it into the hairline so you don't have a mask on, so it doesn't look like you have a mask on, I should say. And working it down your neck as well. So that was probably a pump to a pump and a half of product, and I've just buffed that into my skin to create a base so we can put the contouring and highlighting products over the top. So next I'm going to do a bit of highlighting or concealing first. Just going to use the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla under my eyes, just to cancel out some of the dark circles. Just going to put a little bit on my nose as well. And just going to use a Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86 brush to buff that into my skin. So now that we've cancelled out the dark circles a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and use the contouring products. So on my, underneath my cheekbones, I'm going to use the Models Prefer Contour Collection Contouring Stick. So it's quite a dark shade. I'm just going to use that under my cheekbones. And for the perimeters of my face, I'm going to bronze it up a bit. I'm going to use the Soleil Tender Chanel Bronzing Makeup Base. So this one here. Just going to use that around the perimeters of my face to warm it up a bit. Okay, so let's get started with the contouring. We're going to use the Models Prefer Airbrush Foundation brush to buff the product into our skin. So, just going to start contouring. We're going from the top of our ear towards the corner of our mouth, but we're not going all the way down, of course. Just going to do it about there. Using the Airbrush Foundation by Models Prefer. Just going to grab some Fix Plus and just spritz my brush with it. Just so then it will blend a bit more easily. And also blending upwards. So we're not dragging the product down, we're blending it up so we can keep our contour. Really making sure to get it into the hairline so it doesn't look like it just starts, it's blended and looks natural. Just going to put a little bit more on. To really define and hollow out the cheekbones. Okay, so finished with that product, we're going to move on to the Soleil Tan de Chanel. So just using the same brush, just going to just dip it into the product and just start rimming my face with the product. Also going to take that product just on the jaw line. Just help to define that a little bit. Just blending that bronzer down my neck as well. Okay, now that's all blended in, we are going to use the highlighting products to help clean up the contouring. Actually, before we do that, we're going to contour my nose. So using the Chanel bronzing product again, just using this little eyeshadow brush. It's unnamed, so I'm not 100% sure. And just seeing, just dipping that into the product. Tapping the excess off onto my hand and just contouring my nose. And just going to take that into my eye socket as well, just to contour that a bit. And I'm just going to use the Models Prefer Airbrush Concealer Brush to buff it into my nose. And just buff it on my eyes a little bit. So now we're going to use the highlighting products to highlight as well as clean up the contour. So I'm just using the Models Prefer Contour Collection highlighting stick. It's quite light. Just going to use that. I'm going to start it underneath my contour to help clean that up. Some on my chin, Cupid's bow, where else? Eyebrow, middle of the forehead, center of the nose, and just wherever you feel like highlighting basically. Putting a bit under my eyes. And to blend that in, we're going to use a beauty blender. Just going to take the Chanel bronzer again with that small brush and just put it underneath my bottom lip. And just get a clean beauty blender, just blend that out a little bit. That just helps to make your lower lip look larger and poutier. So now we're going to go back to the Models Prefer Airbrush Foundation brush and just go back over the contour to blend it in with the highlight, so it's not as harsh on our forehead and cheekbones. Especially the top of the cheekbones. So now that we've done that, I'm just going to go into the Maybelline Dream Lumi Touch Highlighting Concealer. As soon as it decides to come out of the tube. Just using the beauty blender to blend that in. Once you've got blended out under the eye and got rid of the creases, we're going to get our Face of Australia translucent powder and bake under our eyes and under our contour. So just using a triangle cosmetics sponge, Just putting some translucent powder, so the Face of Australia translucent powder, into the lid, and just getting the sponge, tapping that into the powder, and baking underneath our eyes. I like to go all the way out to the hairline. That way I know I'm highlighting all of it and making sure my cheekbones look nice. And I shouldn't have worn black knowing that I was going to be doing this. So putting a bit on my chin, forehead, down the center of the nose, under our contour, around the sides of the nose, Cupid's bow, and in the smile lines. So while that is sitting there, I'm just going to get the Real Techniques Duo Fiber Face Brush. Let me just clean my shirt off. I'm just getting that face brush, dipping it into the translucent powder. Just going to lightly set the rest of our face. Just going to start brushing some of the powders off, down my nose and forehead, Cupid's bow and chin, just going to leave under the eyes and under the contour sit there for another moment. Okay, so we can brush the rest of that powder off now. Just brushing the rest of my face to make sure I got all that other powder off. You can also, instead of using the Face of Australia to set your whole face, you can also use a coloured powder. So I was going to use a Maybelline New York Light Shine Free loose powder just to set the rest of my face. So I'll still use some. I'll actually use it in like the contour areas. And I'll use the Real Techniques Duo Fiber Contour Brush. So I just put some into the lid. I'm just getting some of that and just putting it where I contoured. So this will just put a tiny little bit of colour into our contour. I'm just going around my forehead. Hey guys, so I didn't realise my camera had cut out during filming. I finished just putting that Maybelline powder over my contour, and then I buffed it out with that large duo fibre brush. I then went ahead and used the MAC Melba blush on an Artiste Professional Angled Blush brush. And I just applied that to the apples of my cheeks and blended it backwards, as you can see. And then I used that duo fibre powder brush again and just buffed it all out. And then to finish it off, I used the, just grab it back out, I used the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs and rosewater. Just spritzed that all over my face, and then I completed my look. So sorry again it cut out during that filming, but if you would like to see more videos from me, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and if you wanted to see any in particular videos, just comment them down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and you guys are absolutely amazing, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.